read this book? Training for Climbing by Horst. A girl can appreciate that in this book, the author, Horst, talks about how our emotions affect our climbing. That makes sense. That is very true. And this is something that we should definitely be talking about. But in this section called Changing Your Emotional State, he writes, you can rapidly change your emotional state by leveraging the known relationships among the mind, emotions, and body. Just as your emotions exert an influence over your mind and body, you can use your mind and body to influence your emotions. In negative people, the process tends to be reactive and runs itself, whereas happy, productive people are skilled at using their mind and body to produce positive emotions. So if you make it a habit to carry your body in a positive way, good posture, head up, smiling, and think in a positive way, grateful for what you have, reliving only good memories, focusing on future goals, you will feel positive and in fact be a generally happy and successful person. This is one of the most powerful distinctions in this book. Live it! Exclamation mark. Okay, so this is actually called bypassing. Okay, cool. Not a surprise because this is just how white men live in the world. They suppress their real emotions. This is just how we're taught to exist inside of capitalism. Automatically in the society, productiveness equals positivity. So only when we have those emotions are we going to be successful. This is absolutely fucked. I mean, this is incredibly ableist. This is not trauma informed, and this is dangerous because we are a society that is facing multiple genocides. We are in the heart of empire. We can't just bypass our lived experience and the reality that we live in. This is only written obviously for like white men, white people in general, but specifically white men. Who gets to go around living their life and like la-di-da-di-da, I'm just gonna focus on the positive, I'm not gonna think about the negative. I mean, this reminds me of people in my own family, men in my own family, who kept telling me to not make mountains out of molehills. This is gaslighting, and this is leaning into victim blaming, and it's no surprise. I mean, this is written by a white man, and he probably hasn't faced much strife in his life. So for him, this works, I guess. This is also the reason why we have this so-called loneliness epidemic amongst men, is because they keep perpetuating these very patriarchal, white supremacist, capitalist ideologies, and they keep digging their own grave. And this is how they do it, by suppressing their emotions, not going to therapy, not actually talking about their real feelings, dehumanizing themselves and also dehumanizing others in the process. It's a constant feedback loop. This will lead to a break at some point. I mean, no human can sustain this, and even if on the outside they are sustaining this, on the inside they're dying. This is what creates toxic masculinity. So when you struggle with mental health, as I have, when you struggle with anxiety or you're going through depression or you have a chronic mental health issue, you can't just think yourself happy. You can't just think positive thoughts and get yourself out of it. It's not just like some funk that you can just take a shower or take a bath and then like you feel rejuvenated. That's not how that works. You're not getting to the top of a climb because you're not thinking positively enough. I mean, I do believe that that mindset and regulating our emotions is a huge part of being able to achieve whatever climbing goal you have. Abso-fucking-lutely. Mindset is probably one of the most important and often overlooked thing when you are just getting into climbing, like regulating your emotions, regulating your nervous system. But this is not acknowledging the lived experiences of people and how you can't just let those go and just forget that they're even happening or existing and just think positively. If you're afraid of walking outside your door because you're afraid of an ICE agent attacking and kidnapping you, or you're afraid of a family member being kidnapped by ICE, or you are a Black person constantly experiencing anti-Blackness and racism in the US, or you are a trans person who lives in a society that calls you a terrorist, then no, the panacea is not just thinking more positively. This is why we do not get closer to true liberation and progressive change is because we still have a society of people, particularly white men, that they just want to exist in this bubble of just going to focus on the positive, and I'm not going to think about the negative. I'm not going to think about anything that makes me sad or bothers me or makes me angry or makes me uncomfortable. I'm just going to think about the positive. That's not helping anyone. That's not creating a better world. That's making the world worse. This kind of thinking is the detriment to the so-called climbing community and our collective as a whole. If we want to have a safer, more inclusive, and equitable climbing landscape, it's this kind of thinking that needs to be gutted. This is just a little preview of what I've been working on, which I am going to be launching a surprise for you. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, go to the link in bio and sign up for the newsletter so you can be in the know. And I want to hear your thoughts. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What do you do when you are having a bad day or when you're going through a mental health crisis? How does that affect your climbing? Are you able to just think happy thoughts? I would love to know. Drop your thoughts below, and I will see you next time.